For me, it's about the people we're delivering to, it's the quality of the produce we're giving them, and knowing that they're cooking it from scratch as opposed to ready-made meals or anything like that. You know.
I like to assist other people. I have recently retired, and it's great to put something back in life after life giving me plenty.
I'd recently retired and I was looking for things to do, and actually when I looked around there wasn't a great deal for retired people to do. I mean, there was a lot of adverts for working in charity shops, but that really wasn't very satisfactory. And then I saw a flyer from the food bank, and I looked on the website and I did a bit of research, and I thought actually this seems really interesting and could be quite satisfying. It's a unique organisation.
And the people you work with, you know, everyone's a volunteer, and everyone seems to get on really well. You know, I'm in front of a computer day in, day out, so for me, I like physical, you know, and yeah, I mean, some we have to carry a bit further than others, but yeah, it's great.
And as the driver, I'm excused lifting anything anyway.
It was a shock to me, the number of kitchens serving food to people. I'm a local lad pretty much all my life, and I was shocked, to be quite honest. But at the same time, pleased that there are people like us giving their time and efforts to help others, often not as well off as ourselves.
And so many charities in close proximity as well,
Yeah.
you know, which is surprising, isn't it?
I mean, it's not just a question of being grateful, but they clearly, you know, are so dedicated themselves. And you go to some of the places where they're cooking stuff and they're really interested in what you've got, because we don't know what we're going to deliver from one day to another, and they see it as a challenge. And the fact is that we deliver fresh stuff. A lot of food banks really are into sort of tin stuff in a carrier bag. We pick it up, fresh fruit and vegetables, and we deliver to their door, and I think they appreciate it.
And your sales technique really improves.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was going to add to that, and also it's a challenge equally for us to sometimes sell some of the produce that's there. Some of the ingredients, see, I'm thinking to myself, what could I make with these ingredients today? Well, today we had avocados, and I'm trying to push guacamole.
Because they're already halved.
And we were struggling to sell the produce, and then suddenly these ladies came, and I said, guacamole, yes, guacamole, and it was gone.
In fact, I think the idea that you're stopping food going to waste was the real thing that actually attracted me to the food bank. And the more we can stop going to waste, the better. You know, the two things together, stopping waste and then finding a good social outlet for food is absolutely perfect.
I saw David handing out leaflets on the corn market, and talked to him, and he was very underselling, but it was clear he was passionate about what he was doing. So I just rang up and said, okay, I'd like to drive, and to my surprise, he said yes. He didn't say, are you sure you can, or anything like this. He just said yes. So that's why I got involved. And then in terms of the reason, it's just such a virtuous circle. I just love it. Hungry people ought to be fed. Excess food shouldn't be thrown away. So give it to the people who need it. It's just so obvious. And the other thing I absolutely love about the food bank is that it is all volunteers. No salaries, no expenses. So I know that every penny that's given to us goes to doing the job we want it to do. And that matters to me a lot.
It was through David Kay, one of our fellow members and volunteers, and I thought, I don't know, I could do a bit of that, and sort of sitting at home and waiting for the garden to happen in the summer. So yes, I joined the food bank and I love it. I just think it's such a worthwhile thing. And when you go out with the food with the charities, they are so appreciative, and it just gives you a smile, and I just love it. Yes, it is a commitment, but it's a very worthwhile one. You get to meet people, and people that need things from you, and
People are so funny, aren't they?
Oh, absolutely, and so I don't know. I just think it's the best thing I've ever done. Do you know that? I mean, I was a receptionist in a solicitor's office, and so I'm sort of quite used to talking to people, but that usually come with their miseries. Whereas these people, and no waste. It's lovely.
I'm passionate about preventing waste of food, and that's what this does to me. and uses the food in a fantastic way that charities get it. And I really appreciate seeing the food coming in and the food going out and getting used. I'm self-employed, so I fix the days around what work I've got and when I can. And I come along and help. I don't drive, but I help with the containers, lugging them on and off, sorting out the food, putting them on the vans, taking them out, giving them to the charities, or doing pickups from the supermarkets and wholesalers. So I find it worthwhile, and I don't feel as though it's giving up my time. I feel as though I'm getting something out of it that's purely worthwhile, that you can see something happening from it.
When I started, I remember going out with a tray of drooping lettuces and a tray of lemons, and that was about it, you know, and some stale bread. What we got initially was of nothing like the quality we get now. I suspect that more suppliers have come on board and have got more realistic about how to use us. So rather than waiting until they've got a vast amount of something, they'll give us bits, so we can get, you know, anything from asparagus to strawberries to Jersey roll potatoes
Quite
at this
really
time of
different
year.
food
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Different
And
food.
I like the way, I mean, you were talking earlier, we've got some rhubarb here, and, you know, a big box of rhubarb, and I like the way you were talking about one charity went, great chutney, and, you know, and you happen to have, what else did you
Red
have? Some
onions.
red onions and ginger, and suddenly, eyes lit up, they've got chutney, just from a...
They've made 45 pounds of chutney.
Just from a box of rhubarb that some supermarket would just throw out. So I think it's a fantastic example about how things are used.
Of course, we were all brought up, weren't we? That you save bits of string and folded wrapping paper and all that. You
It's
wouldn't.
true,
And
yeah. And of course we were brought up not to waste food.
no, absolutely. I mean, my mother thought to waste bread was sinful, literally
Absolutely.
sinful.
Made
And
bread
I'm
pudding,
not
didn't we?
sure. I'm not sure she wasn't right. I mean, I think that
It is
it is sinful.
There's too
just
much
the waste that's going
bread,
on.
especially bread.
And I think we need to, I would like to see more raising of publicity about the amount of food that is wasted in this country and around. I do a lot of work abroad in famine areas, and I see what's happening in this country with waste of food, and it appalls me. And I think there should be, I think much more should be done at the food cycle to prevent waste.
They're trying to ask the supermarkets to stop being, you know, buy two and you get the third one free, and of course that usually involves bread. So of course much too much is being made.